Alright guys, I'm back. This is day 19 without sports. I have a whiteboard on my kitchen and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, besides the point I guess. But hope quarantine's treating y'all well. Anyway, so we're going to go over slope, which I know we went over that a little bit ago. But, you know, I figured one more lesson of kind of review would be helpful. So yeah, I would write this down if you have paper around you. If it is on a graph, think rise over run. And if it is on an ordered pair, write down y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So yeah, here we go. Now let's go to this one. So yeah, these are ordered pairs. So we have, let me write that on a piece of paper real quick instead of switching back and forth. Okay, so for the first one, this is obviously an ordered pair because there's no graph on it. So it was -5, 3, and then 5, 5. Now remember, this is not a graph, so we are thinking this. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, how you label it is very important because we know it reads, this is your x, and this is your y. This is your x, and this is your y. So then once you label them, you just simply go from left to right. So this would be x1, this would be y1, x2, y2. So once you set up, you are golden. So we have y2 minus y1, so this turns into y2 is our 5. So, y2 is 5 minus what's our y1? Our y1 is 3. Over x2, x2 is 5. Minus x1, which our x1 is 5. So now we have 5 minus a -5. So anytime it is minus a -5 or minus a negative number, these cancel out and it turns into a positive. That's a little tricky, but one thing that helps me though is you pretty much write it identical. So this would be 5, and you write your minus sign, and you look and you say, oh, it's a -5. So you write minus -5. Anytime that helps me is if I see these 2 dashes, I just make them positive. So yeah, anyway, that may help, may not. I hope it does. But so now we just do 5 minus 3, so that's 2. And then 5 plus 5 now is 10, which this would obviously reduce to 1/5. So there's the first one. Actually, let's do this. I don't want to clear it yet. Yeah, let's do one. Actually, no, let's go to a graph. So yeah, this would be your graph. So since y'all can, I think it would be harder for me to draw it on paint. So I'm just going to kind of just follow my cursor, I guess. So for the first one, you want to find a point that is exactly on an ordered pair. So this one is directly on 2, -5. So it's rise over run. So you always want to count up. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And since you're even with this point, you start to count over. 1, 2. So that becomes 10 over 2. So your rise over run for that one, since it is a graph, the one that we just did, is 10 over 2. So that would reduce to 5 over 1. That's kind of funny. It's the reciprocal of that. I didn't even plan that. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Remember, if you were going uphill from left to right, it is a positive. So, therefore, this would be a positive 10 over 2 or 5 over 1 with it reducing. So like an example of a negative would be like 5 right here, how it's going downhill if you're going from left to right. So let's do one more of each. So let's do this one. Let me fix my pen. 2 and 5. All right, so let's go back to paint. All right, I'm gonna actually, no, I don't need to clear it just yet. So for this one, we have -4, -5, and 2 and 5. So remember, this is not a graph, so we're not using this one this time. We are using the ordered pairs, the y2 minus y1. So the first thing we should do is label them x1, y1, x2, y2. So now this turns into just plugging it into the formula. So the first thing we do is y2, 5, minus y1, or y1 is -5. So it's minus a -5. So again, that's going to turn into a positive over x2, which is 2, even though that's a really bad 2, minus x1. So again, it's minus a -4. So it turns it into a positive. That's probably about the trickiest thing on here, honestly. So 5 plus 5 is 10. Oop, that's a really bad 0. And 2 plus 4, so 6. And that reduces to 5. 2 divided by 2 is 5, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So yeah, your slope for that answer is 5 over 3. Now let's do one more for a graph. So remember on a graph, you automatically just want to think rise over run. Which this basically just tells you you go from this red dot to the other red dot. But if you didn't have the red dots, you'd want to start on a perfect, like on the corners, if that makes sense. See how this one's like running through, it's not like a perfect ordered pair. Anyway, so let's do number 5. Yeah, let's do number 5. So you can do rise over run. So start at your lowest point. So if we're going to go from this little red dot right here, we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our rise is going to be 10. So if you were going to write that, it would be 10 over, and now you just got to calculate the run. So that'd be 10 over, and then let's do the run now. So we were right here because we were even with it. Now we just got to count over. 1, 2, 3. So it would be 10 over 3, but 10 over 3 wouldn't be the right answer because this is a negative slope. Because, you know, if you were, I don't know, say if you're just walking over here and you want to slide down the hill left to right, it would be a negative. So your answer would be negative 10 over 3 for your slope. Which I know we've covered this before, but I wanted to do like one more lesson of review. So yeah, hopefully that helps. If not, let me know. Hope you guys are doing well, and be safe, and have a great day.